My name is Alicia Randolph with Randolph Consulting Services, Ascend Advantage, and we are day 2 of our 21 Consistency Challenge. Now, if you're just joining me or haven't seen my Consistency Challenge from last year, maybe you don't know why I decided to start this in the first place. Well, let me share with you. What I found out about a year ago or a year or two was that there were areas of my life I wasn't being very consistent in. And I kept wondering why I would get to a certain part in my career or my vision, and then it almost plateaued. It didn't seem to go further. And I realized there was an area of abundance that I needed to explore more fully, and that was being consistent. So that's why I started this 21-day consistency challenge, so we can begin to build that muscle of consistency in focused areas, and it will spread throughout our lives, our relationships, and everything that includes who we are. All right, so this is day 2 of the challenge. So for this particular consistency challenge, we're focusing on self-development. We're looking at some specific focal areas. That area could be spirituality. It could be your finances. Maybe you need to be more consistent in that, or more consistent in your relationships, showing up for people you care about, really establishing boundaries. It could be a physical consistency. Maybe you're not eating right. Maybe you need a more healthier way of food intake or a different mindset about food. Spiritual, it could be really having a consistent spiritual practice that really invigorates you and adds to the beauty of who you already are. Pick one of those and decide now which is the area you're going to focus on. Now, for me, my area of focus, as I told you, I'm very creative, so I want to know how do I now enhance that creativity for my clients, for those that I facilitate training in their businesses with, or those that I coach, the executive leaders that we have these one-on-one retreats and coaching sessions for their teams. How do I bring even more creativity so that it's a fun experience that really lasts and is not just another check the box that we took and we met our quota? So the resource that I picked was called Passion Capital, and it's by Paul Alas. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a great book. So if creativity is your strength that you want to go ahead and focus on with me, come on, let's do it together. And I have been reading Paul Alas' book, as well as we're writing in our journals, and we're using all kinds of pens and stickers and our calendar to make sure that we can track our consistency for the next 21 days. All right, so let me update you for day 2 what I found in writing in my journal. Well, yesterday we shared Paul's definition of passion capital, but in my journaling, I came up with this one, okay? Capital is having the funds necessary to finance a venture. A good business definition, right? When I thought about passion capital, though, it was 4 distinct words that came up for me. All right, it's having the re-energized, sustained emotional determination to take a vision from an idea to fruition. Yes, exactly. Now, those 4 words are very important. Energy. Everything around us has energy in it. Energy is what takes us forward. Oh my gosh, something's burning. Hold on. What was I telling you about? Consistency, passion. This is what I wrote. Those 4 words. Energy. That's what pulls us forward. It's that momentum. It carries us into progression. So it's so important. Second one was sustainment. We can have energy go, 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 but if we can't sustain what we're doing, we give up. You know, give out of energy, right? So sustainment, really carrying it through is important. Now, yesterday we talked about emotions. That a lot of times, especially for some of us women, that we're looked at as highly emotional, and that's too much to have in the workplace. And I shared with you yesterday that emotions are a gift. I truly believe that. Imagine people without emotions, that would be a very dull world. So thank goodness for emotions. It's how we manage those emotions that are really important. We'll talk more about that. And then, of course, that determination. My daddy and my mom, they taught me how to have that stick-to-itiveness. So now I wanted to look at my emotions and see, are my emotions an asset as capital or a liability? Two very instances where my emotions really peaked for me and I noticed some outcomes. The first one, I was having a conversation with this incredibly bright attorney. She was a woman as well, and I began to share with her my passion for bold leadership for women. And she listened to some of the statistics I had and the experiences of having been in cultures where having a voice or seeing women represented was a deficit. Never about bashing our male counterparts. No, I believe men are important and women are important. What is equally important is that we regard and respect each other. That's where we as women are now really using our voices. Oh, you're probably thinking, well, Alicia, how did your emotions come up with the first instance? Well, as she was saying, she didn't have that. I thought, wow. And I felt my emotions kind of settle inside my head. There was a space and time where I really wasn't listening to her. I was thinking to myself, well, wonder, is that true for you, or is that because you're a lawyer and you've learned to defend and that you felt so free, or you didn't notice, or that didn't affect you? So I was letting the emotion take me in my head for a split second rather than really listening to her and asking questions based on that intuition and that emotion coming forward. So that was an aha for me. Second time was with a group of ladies, and we were looking at this video. Sally Krawcheck of Elevate had a woman summit. She was interviewing a journalist, and they began to talk about having a voice in these male-dominated positions that they really don't like you to speak out. She talks about how, as a CFO, she was told to sit down and be quiet, which she did, and I'm so glad she did it. But what it says for us, and for her, she talks about it, that there are some women who can't afford to have a voice and say exactly what they want to say in an environment where women's opinions are not asked for or welcomed. So, and she talked about how important it is for women who have achieved this level of tenure, this ability to be able to get a job wherever they want to. They can pick wherever they want to go, to be a voice for what is right and a voice for other women. So put it below in our comment box and share with me what you're thinking. So that was my aha. So my next steps are, how will I integrate that in with my client base? It's not just passion. It is the values behind the passion. That's where we're going to pick up on day 3 of Consistency Challenge. Wow. Are you seeing me? I'm starting to get hot here. Talk to you soon.